I'm Harry Mays, and the Eagles found a cure for a 2-game losing streak, and his name is Carson Wentz.
Who knew? Jalen Hurts took Carson Wentz's job today. He took his soul.
You are Locked On Eagles Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Woohoo! All right. This Locked On episode brought to you by Mazda. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward. Mazda, move and be moved. I was moved today, Harry.
You were moved?
It moved. I was moved by that game today because we made our predictions on our midweek squad show.
Yeah.
You, me, and Mark Farzetta. And we all just went positive and say, yeah, Eagles win because I had revealed about my cancer diagnosis that I'm cancer-free. I really didn't believe that they were going to win this game this week. I didn't like the matchup. And based on what I saw, really the week prior and somewhat the 2 weeks prior didn't leave me with a lot of faith. But just when you think you're out, this team posed me back in. And the quarterback does it again by answering critics. It's unbelievable, the performance today. Perfect quarterback rating from Jalen Hurts.
158.3.
Yeah, but most importantly, another win, another conference win in the East.
Yeah, I mean, it's his first 300-yard passing game since last September against the New Orleans Saints, believe it or not. He's 19 of 23, 3 touchdowns, 326 yards, and also DeVonte Smith was fantastic too.
Oh, my God.
A.J. Brown really played well as well, but DeVonte Smith, man, it seems like, teams are so lucky if they have like one go-to guy that you can really, go to when you need to make a play. This team has 2 at the wideout position.
Special guys.
Yes, really. And it was really on display today. And, the defense came up. I said on the Fanatic on Friday, they had us do these little videos. A guy comes in and says, hey, give your video prediction on the game. And I gave like a 30-second impromptu thing where I said, the same score as what I said with you and Farzy, 23-20. But I said that the defense is going to turn Carson Wentz over and make some big plays in the turnover department. And they did.
2 picks.
That pick 6. I mean, that was just vintage Carson Wentz, wasn't it? You got Jalen Carter busting in there, right? He made a play, and he's in Carson Wentz's chest. And the way the Fox crew, who I thought was a great crew today. We'll talk
Greg
about
Olson.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had a better play-by-play guy with him
Yeah.
because the baseball is going on. So Joe Davis gets moved off to that. Thank goodness.
Good.
Adam Amin was terrific. Well, you made one mistake today. That's it. But anyway, they diagrammed this thing where Fangio put 5 or 6 guys at the line of scrimmage, and then he blitzed with one guy, but then dropped Jalix Hunt back into the pass route, and Wentz never saw him. And when you got Jalen Carter in your chest, he just chucked it right to Jalix Hunt, and he athletic and just runs it in for the touchdown. That was awesome. And then he comes back with another interception, which was a point in the game where I was really surprised with the way the Eagles handled that, because they got the ball at, I think, the 44-yard line. They're near midfield after the second interception. It was basically a punt on second down by Wentz from deep in their own end. A horrible decision. And Makuba, who, he's always around the ball, gets his second interception of the year. I thought right then and there that the Eagles were going to go for the throat. And that would have been a play, over the top to DeVonte or A.J. Brown. They didn't do it. They went to Goddard and got a couple of yards. They ended up punting on ended up making a 3-and-out, basically, and punting the ball right back. So I thought that was a part of the game where they really could have put the stranglehold on the Vikings, because
they would have done that last year.
They would have. There was blood in the water, man. You could just see Wentz had lost all his confidence at that point, and he was banged up a little bit. They were hitting him pretty hard, and I thought the game could have been over right then and there. And sure enough, just like the NFL, these other teams just find ways to stay in the game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
and it becomes a sweat.
Yeah, you had to sweat it out. It's never the old Mikey Miss rocking chair is gone.
That was not the
been burned
case.
as firewood, Harry.
No rocking chair at all.
Yeah, there's no rocking chair rides. Let's bring in Louis DiBiase right now, of course, from Locked On Eagles. It's a show every day. Louis, and I was listening to your show prior to this. I couldn't agree with you more about DeVonte Smith. I really can't. Yeah. He gets overshadowed because he does not have the same personality.
Yeah, he doesn't talk.
Body structure. Yeah. Harry, when does he have time?
Yeah.
Everybody, there's no oxygen for him to eat up.
Yeah.
He's an understated guy, but he's as dynamic a wide receiver as you'll see in the NHL and the NFL. And he's the best deep threat I've seen since Deshaun.
I completely agree. I said on my show that he is the Jalen Hurts of wide receivers because he's in an offense that's very run heavy. He is across from a generational, all-time great, talented wide receiver in A.J. Brown, who is one of the most complete skill sets I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And therefore, people think he's a wide receiver too. But in actuality, if you put him on a Minnesota-like team, if he has Justin Jefferson's role, not to say he's Justin Jefferson, but he will put up those kind of elite top 10
far off Justin
wide receiver
Jefferson.
one numbers. No, I mean, that route he ran on Isaiah Rodgers for the 79-yard touchdown. The way he got right on his inside hip, just doesn't break out of the route until he gets right on his toes and just completely turns him inside out. I mean, he is one of the best route runners I've ever seen, and he's also one of the most clutch. Why he's kind of like Jalen Hurts is he's one of the most clutch players in the NFL. Every game that's like this where they need a big play in the passing game, obviously Brown had the game-winning touchdown, but I just feel like Smitty's always the go-to, and he always makes the play. So I want to give him his flowers because you're right. I mean, A.J. Brown talks a lot, and he gets the ball a lot, and they run a lot. And for that, Smitty gets vastly overlooked. But in college, he was one of the greatest players of all time. And in the NFL, I think he's one of the most underrated players I've ever seen.
Yeah. A lot of people, when they drafted him, they pointed to his body type, right?
But he plays through context so well. I mean, he took some hard hits today.
Weird.
I mean, that's never been an issue. He's like, you're right. He's a D-Jax level deep threat with the same kind of build, but Deshaun Jackson never had this kind of complete skill set where he could play through traffic. I mean, some of the plays he made over the middle today in the second half, I mean, that's Smitty, and he just doesn't get those flowers he deserves.
I mean,
Buck 83 on 9 catches.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the average for DeVonte Smith and A.J. Brown today. Average 20.3 yards per catch for DeVonte, 9 receptions on 11 targets. AJ's 30.3 average.
Insane.
He had 4 receptions on 6 targets. That is insane, is right.
Well, the reason that's insane because his long was only 45 yards.
Yeah.
There's not like one like DeVonte Smith had the 79 yarder to bloat that average. To have an average of 30.3 and a long of 45 is pretty insane.
It was so
you just
huge.
see they were dialed in today. They must have had a meeting in the parking lot.
That's right.
At the Mall of America, Harry, out there in Minnesota.
Yeah, there you go.
How huge was that, too, for all the explosive plays to come back? I mean, Jalen just being so complete for 4 quarters, like that was huge. But, I mean, uncharacteristically missing deep balls throughout the last 2 games. And today, I mean, all 3 touchdowns were on the money down the field. Like they're going to need that moving forward because I don't know when this offensive line is going to get fully healthy this year, when the run game is going to get consistent. And so, like, they need that big 3 in the passing game to play like that. Not every single game to have that kind of nuclear performance, but you're going to need that more this year for sure.
Yeah, they definitely will. And, of course, you had Juergens going out today, Toth getting in there, and, man, it really makes a difference. Barkley today, 2.4 yards per carry.
That's a shell of himself.
Unbelievable. His longest play was 9 yards.
Did you see the graphic of the Fox ran of through 6 games last year and 6 games this year? The difference it's astonishing.
Yeah,
I mean, guys are in the backfield every play.
Yeah.
By the time he gets the ball, there is somebody there behind the line of scrimmage.
And he went in the medical tent too today for a bit.
Yeah.
Did
you notice they were under center a little more today too?
And it worked.
And it worked.
The under center play action.
To the DeVonte touchdown, that's an under-centered play action. It's easier to run the ball from under center. They may have to reincorporate that, go a little less RPO and shotgun and vamping with with your quarterback and go into a little bit more conventional under center offense because it work. If we're judging by what we've seen this year, under center works a lot better. I mean, it just they're more balanced, and not that Saquon was good today, but the threat of Saquon was still there, even though he wasn't running the ball well.
And yet,
Yeah.
Kevin Patullo on 3rd and 5, in one of the biggest moments of the game, runs a running back draw and shotgun, despite under center working. I thought they won in spite of Patullo today. Yet again, just some head scratching decisions, and just does not have answers a lot of the time. I
don't
like
give him credit
they
for.
won in
I don't
spite.
give him credit for the first drive.
I don't
the whole
either.
coaching staff credit for the first
I mean,
drive.
most of the plays they made in the passing game, Hurts is running around making plays outside of structure. They weren't designed plays.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit for the under center stuff you're talking about. I mean, that was something they haven't been doing much, but there were just way too many moments again where they kind of had to win in spite of their play caller.
I thought Flores made a big mistake on that first drive by dropping 8 and rushing 3 on that. I mean, you got to
What
be
are you
kidding
doing?
me. Hurts had all day, and you can't stay with AJ. But he was out. They got a linebacker on him. There's no way that guy was going to be able to stay with him, and he just lobbed it up there for a touchdown. And then after that, the offense went to sleep again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until the big play and the big bomb to DeVonte Smith. There was a period in there where they were doing nothing.
Yeah, but I think you got to realize that there's another team on the other side that's not a bad football team, and there's ebbs and flows. And I think that we've gotten spoiled as Eagles fans after last year. We just don't want to win. We want it to be perfect.
Yeah, but it's either like big play or 3 and out.
Yeah,
Or nothing.
Harry's right, though. They don't get
There's
easy
no
yards.
middle ground.
No, yeah, that's 100% correct. It feels like kind of the Seahawks Russell Wilson where it was deep ball or check down or Marshawn Lynch run for a couple of years, and there's nothing in between.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when the run game's not working, Patullo is not very good at scheming plays, like scheming open easy yards. The quick passing game is just not there right now. They didn't do a lot of RPO today, a lot of moving pockets.
No.
So that's a big problem. He's 100% correct. Without the deep ball and those outside of structure explosive plays, I mean, this team
They
was
lose.
still not able to.
Right.
Yeah, they lose.
They lose
They
that
weren't
game
able to move
today.
the ball.
Right, and that's where the Wentz factor comes in. I mean, they were 1
Yep.
for 6 in the red zone. I mean, Minnesota was moving the football all day long, but they just had to settle for field goals.
Yeah,
We
if that's a
talked about
different
this
quarterback, they're probably winning that game at some point in the second half.
most
I don't know.
likely. Yeah.
But then, again, that's Vic Fangio and the red zone, because that's a good Minnesota team in the red zone coming into the game. They were good in the red zone this year. And then in this game, all of a sudden, they were melting down. Again, Wentz looked like he was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like
that one possession after the pick 6 when Minnesota got the ball back, he had the backwards pass. I mean, that was vintage Wentz from years
Vintage
ago.
Wentz.
And I'm just looking at this guy. His mechanics are atrocious.
Yeah.
His
Never
lower
changed.
body has always been really bad. He has a really wide base,
Yep.
and he's just got
An
everything's
elongated
Arms are
throwing
all over
motion.
the
Yeah.
place.
Super
takes
windy
forever.
throw.
Yeah. I'm
No.
wondering, why did I ever think he was good?
I mean, he
That's
was
the weird
for a
thing.
couple of years. So
No, but you looked at him and you were like, this is like the prototypical quarterback of the NFL now.
Yeah.
Big, tough, can
Yeah.
chuck it. He'll run it, even though he's not a great runner, but he's a savvy enough and
Yeah.
tough enough runner where he's going to get you a first down. And he did for Minnesota late in that game. But he's just like, it's like he's just impaired mentally out there
Yeah.
to be able to
he's
make
just
the
too
right
inconsistent.
decision.
He's one of those early 1960s cars down in Havana.
Down-
You know, like people they drive all the old vintage cars,
Yeah.
as if they're new.
T-Bird.
That's what Wentz is. He's a relic.
Yeah, he's probably a player for the wrong generation.
Oh yeah,
That's-
no doubt.
No doubt about it.
100%.
And,
But
I mean,
boy,
look,
does he get rattled? You could just
does.
see it.
his body
The pressure really
sucks out
rattles
loud,
him,
man.
yeah.
Oh, when Jalen Carter lit him up on that pick 6,
Oh, yeah.
you could tell he was
Oh,
rattled.
yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
why he threw that other interception the next drive to Drew Makuba. That
Yeah,
was
he
one of
just
the
threw it-
biggest hits I've seen.
That was a punt. That was like a second down punt by Wentz.
Yeah.
He just like throwing it up there.
That's his
Makuba.
problem is, like, he still made some really great plays. I mean, Jason talked about it. 2 third and long conversions with his legs in a big moment.
Yeah.
1 scorer game, like trying to get them in scoring
I think
position.
he's a competitor. That's why.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he threw for over 300 yards. There were some bright spots of Carson today.
But
Like,
it isn't pretty though when he
but,
runs.
and you
know
know
what
it's
I
never.
mean?
No, it's definitely not.
It's really not.
Yeah, he runs like a guy from North Dakota
Yes,
State
he
for sure.
really
He is not a gazelle.
No.
But the problem is, it's only a matter of time that he's going to make a mistake like that. So they do need to learn from that game, though, because if that is another quarterback, they might have been in more trouble. They might have been playing from behind at some point. So again, what Harry was talking about with easy yards, you need that, or else you're going to blow leads still.
And the situation, this defense is going to be giving up points, I think, on a weekly basis. I just think they're not getting as much of a pass rush. They've got injuries. Like the offense is going to have to outscore teams, I think, quite a lot going forward.
Oh, Brandon Graham's coming back, so all is
that's
fixed,
right. Yeah, you're right.
All that. A buddy of mine called, is he coming? Is Brandon Graham coming back? I said, Lord, I hope so. Just for the personality.
Well, yeah.
Just and everything. I think he can still play.
Well, what kind of shape's he in?
I just hope they don't think
Well,
that's the
that's
fix. Like, I
Yeah,
still hope
right.
they would try to trade for somebody else.
Yeah. The game was. It turned out to be crazy. You thought it was going to be easy, then it's not. And you see A.J. Brown and DeVonte involved so early, and I'm going, wow, somebody got sat down and had a talking to, or somebody listened to the Eagles midweek squad show.
Yeah.
Where we're like this targeting A.J. Brown for the first time in the third quarter on multiple occasions is ridiculous. On the radio this week, I called it malpractice. You can't have that receiver and not target him till the third quarter. Like that's beyond dumb. And they got him going early today. Boy, they all look like they got along good today too, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's the thing is after that Thursday night game, watching Jamar Chase catch like 1,000 balls, you kind of had to have this performance to say, like, that showed me force feeding a star player is not a bad.
Yeah.
I think at times, like, Eagles fans and media members say, like, it's bad to force feed A.J. Brown and DeVonte Smith, but I think getting the ball in the hands of your stars is not
Your
a
best
problem.
players.
How is that a bad
They
thing?
are two of your top. You can make the argument two of your top 5 players on this roster, or top 7, top 10. So I think, and they're going to have to carry you moving
What
forward.
do they want? Hodson to get more passes and targets? Like,
Yeah,
what do we?
exactly.
Why would we want that? That's
Right.
what the other team's trying to do.
And it would be. This is why I defended A.J. Brown during all that drama a couple weeks ago. If he was upset, if DeVonte was upset during a moment like last year where they're running so well, it would be different. But they're not running the football
Right.
consistently. They're not play calling well. So they need those two. So I totally get why there was frustration. And this game proves them correct. Like, they can carry you while you figure the rest out. And they're going to need that more moving forward.
Yeah, if they would have done it last year, it's like you're not being a team. You're not
Right.
a team player.
But this year, it's totally understandable because they haven't had one good rushing performance really the entire season.
No, they haven't. Harry, I think you nailed it too. I think to be a good team and to be a team that has a chance to repeat or be a threat again, you have to be able to win different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep evolving because teams figure you out, or you're not going to have the same magic in the same way you had it the year before. So you have to be able to do it a different way. And today showed that if you just want to go gunslinging and we'll just outscore you, that we can do that. And the Eagles are capable of that. But a key component of that has got to be the consistency and usage of both A.J. Brown and DeVonte Smith. Yeah. And the quarterback can't have a half where he doesn't have a completion.
Today was interesting in a lot of ways. I mean, the one way, just the quarterback situation of what, you drafted Hurts, he ends up taking Wentz's job, and it's like, man, they knew what they'd made the right decision. It's just so obvious.
Saw it head to head.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And then you had the whole Isaiah Rodgers thing too, right? Where he's having a big year, and they burned him quite a few times.
Well, DeVonte got him
by
on the
both
touchdown.
guys.
He gave up both big plays, right? I mean, the game-winning, the sluggo route to A.J. Brown to put the game on ice, and the touchdown to DeVonte Smith. And it's funny because the whole week we were talking about, like, that was the one rare miss Howie Roseman had this offseason was letting him go. And it sounded like they offered him a contract, but it wasn't super competitive with what Minnesota did. So, but they definitely took advantage of him today.
Yeah, he was so bad his pass card might not work on Monday at their facility.
The 3rd and 9 at the 44, the play that really sealed the game.
Yeah,
where Hurts sort of lobbed it up there, and
AJ
caught it, and that was on Isaiah too. That basically ended the game.
Oh, good point. Yeah, that's the thing is, you've got the explosive plays back now downfield. If you can just do what Harry was talking about and figure out, because while the run game is going to be inconsistent, while the offensive line gets healthy, you have to now, I think the next step is how can we scheme open quick, easy plays for Brown and Smith? Like, like today you got the big plays, but now how do we almost use them to overcompensate for the run game? I think that's my focus this week is how do we get the quick game to look like it did in the NFC Championship? Because the easy yards really have to be found. And I don't think it's going to happen on the offensive line right now. I mean,
No.
I just think they are who they are currently because they're not going to be 100% for a bit.
And that'll affect that'll make it sort of an inability to screen game, without having Juergens. You're not going to be able to screen with Toth.
That's the thing. You want to try and get Saquon involved in open space, and right now you can't because those are the guys that'll block for him downfield.
Why is Toth playing center, by the way?
Juergens went out with a concussion.
I know, but I mean, Toth has never worked there. Yeah. Drew Kendall is inactive today. That was head scratching.
Right.
I can't see number 64 again in the middle of that offensive line. He has been a liability every time he's on the field.
Yeah, no, they got to get over the injury bug. When we come back, we want to talk about should they get support for Saquon? Is it Saquon or is it the line, the chicken or the egg? It is the Eagles squad show as they go on the road. They beat Minnesota, and they get another win in the conference as well. We're back after this on the Eagles squad show. All right, let me tell you about FanDuel. We're a great day for FanDuel because you got a lot of great football action. You got a lot of great sports action. NBA coming, NHL underway, Major League Baseball playoffs. You got a great NFL and college season going on. Just so much happening right now. And right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. What a great deal. You pick a bet, put down $5. That's it. And if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Now, the one thing about FanDuel that's great, well, it's not one thing, it's many things, but the best thing for me is its ease of use. It's so easy to use. And because it's so easy to use, it creates this ability to make a game that would normally mean nothing to you mean something, whether you want to get in on the action before the game or the live in-game betting. At FanDuel, it gives you so many ways to play. You can build your own parlays. You can do player props. You can go do the live betting, which I've talked about a ton, which I love. During the games, you get those feels of momentum and where a game might swing, and you maybe can get some good odds, and you see a team that maybe can come back in a game because of that as well. It makes watching football even more exciting when you got a little something riding on the action, a little skin in the game. So whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience that much better. So what are you waiting for? Do yourself a favor. Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Again, go to FanDuel.com. All right, Saquon Barkley. We saw the side-by-side comparison numbers this time last year versus this year. We know the offensive line is banged up. We know that Lane Johnson's been in and out, and Juergens today, and we know Landon Dickerson. Yep. Yeah, we know all this stuff. But could he use some support? Should the Eagles go out and either acquire a lineman before the deadline or somebody to add in the backfield? I remember when they won the Super Bowl in the 2017 season, they brought in Jay Ajayi, and they already had LeGarrette Blount.
You got Tank Bigsby. Everything's fine.
Not Tom Bigsby.
He got a couple of runs early in the game.
He did. Well, he got one.
Because they scratched Dillon.
Yeah.
They sat
Dillon.
him.
Yeah. Bigsby is actually an 11-yard run.
Yeah.
But should they go out and supplement, and where should they supplement? Is it on the O-line to help, or is it at the running back position, or both?
I think Dillon, Shipley, Bigsby, I think, as far as like a complementary guys to Barkley, I don't know that you're going to get much better there. I think
because LeGarrette Blount wasn't Barkley when they added Jay Ajayi.
No. But I just think this offensive line, we've sung the praises of the offensive line coach, and rightly so, for many years, and will continue to do so. But he needs to coach somebody up. And like Louis said, Kendall being inactive today, that's an interesting move. Like, now, had they known Juergens was going to go out, they probably wouldn't have made him inactive, right?
In hindsight, that looks bad.
What does that look like next week when you have the Giants coming in? But maybe that's the solution. They spend the week and coach up Drew Kendall to go in there and play center.
I think that's got to be the move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got to calm down on it. He can make anybody a good offensive lineman just because he made a rugby player. Like sometimes guys just aren't good enough.
Well,
I agree with you.
he also turned around Mekhi Becton's career.
Yeah,
You know,
and
I mean,
look who was next to Becton.
yeah, I know.
But Jason's right. Like, you can't just bring in anybody. You have to somewhat invest in the offensive line depth. And I will say that is something we haven't talked about enough this year. Howie Roseman has not drafted offensive line prospects early in drafts for
not
a
in a
bit
while.
now. And I
And
think
eventually
he has,
that credit card becomes due.
Yeah, and I think he has almost – you kind of do make a good
Since
point. Like,
Landon
Stoutland's
Dickerson.
record is better than anybody ever, but you can't just expect him to turn anybody into a stud, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I do think, like, I don't think there is a fix this year. There are not teams just willing to trade good offensive linemen during the year. I don't believe that's going to be a reality. But this offseason, they are going to need to draft somebody high. I do think in free agency they need to look at that, because I'm not saying their whole starting lineup's a problem, but their depth is not nearly good enough. Like Matt Pryor coming in these games and Brett Toth, like,
Yeah.
it's not moving the needle. Maybe you give some of these young guys you drafted more chances, like a Drew Kendall. I mean, you drafted Cameron Williams and Miles Hinton, and I know a lot of them are stashed on IR and those phantom IR spots, but like Kendall is somebody that I really liked this offseason, and
Yeah.
I think could be an upgrade over Toth. So I don't know if there's a fix for the run game outside of just getting healthy and maybe trying a younger prospect. But I don't think from like a trade perspective there's anybody that could really help. I don't know.
Yeah, and also Saquon just doesn't look like he's the same guy right now. He just doesn't look as quick.
It's not quite DeMarco Murray drop off, but
No.
it's drop off.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to have that sort of that
Burst.
shifty burst. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a significant drop-off, but that is the reality when you have that many touches at his age at running back. Like, even for a freak athlete like him, I mean, I think this is normally what you see the following year. So,
But then they should have known that, and they should have come in prepared for that a little better. They didn't.
but I don't think he looks shot. I mean, do you guys think? I think he still looks
No, I don't think
just
I'm
as
not saying he's
explosive.
shot. No.
I think the offensive line's just been really bad
Yeah.
at blocking.
Yeah, and they just stuff him right up the middle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a good point too. I mean, they run the same run plays over and over again. So
I don't think they've done them any favors either.
No.
They haven't, from the offensive line standpoint and from a play calling standpoint, and getting him involved. There's ways to get him involved without running the ball too, where
Right.
you can get him out in the flat.
yeah, look at the wheel route touchdown against
Yeah,
Denver.
exactly.
They don't do that. That's the thing is there was even a play today where he spun out of a tackle for a loss in the fourth quarter and made it like a 5 to 6 yard run. You still see those moments every game. You see the deep touchdown against Denver where
Yeah.
I don't see a physical drop off really. Like, is it as good as last year? No, but
We just
I
don't
do
see
think
the 67-yard run every
Yeah.
week.
There's been
But
no
I think
home
it's
runs.
more. The issue is much more offensive line and Patullo than it is Saquon. I don't think like adding another running back is going to do much.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I don't know how you fix this in season, but you can't go as far as you went last year as currently constructed and executing. You can't.
No.
They just can't do it. When you're going to get to that level where you're going to have to be able to defend better because you're not going to be able to just outscore opponents when you get to that point in the season. That might be able to get you by this week and next week. If they lose to the Giants again, I'm done. I quit.
Giants are up 13-0 in Denver right now.
Are they better than we think?
I think Jackson Dart's legit.
Jackson Dart looks pretty good.
Yeah, but maybe they are better than we think too.
Yeah.
Because we just think it's such a total hot mess there and a
Yeah.
gong show, right?
Yeah.
And it has been. They've earned it. But maybe they're not as bad as you think.
Can't believe they started Russell Wilson for a month.
Yeah, I know. Tell me
Yeah, what do
about
you-
it.
Kind of a
Yeah.
waste. Like
Yeah.
if they could be competing for a playoff spot right now.
But I
early
mean,
in the
that just
season.
goes to show you it's more evidence of like, young energy, talented young energy at quarterback changes the whole dynamic of the organization. It's just like with Jaden Daniels with the Commanders last year. I mean,
Big
it's
time.
it takes that one guy if he's
Look
the
at Drake
right
May
guy.
in New England right now too.
And in
They're
year
5-2.
Yeah, with a new
Yep.
coach. Yeah, a good coach.
Yeah.
Interesting point in this game, though, guys. I want to go over this with you. The Eagles were up 14-3. They had made the back-to-back interceptions, and on the second one, they had some curious play calling. Ended up punting back to Minnesota. Wentz started to get something underneath him. He found Naylor for 26. He had a 40-yarder to Justin Jefferson, and then there was DeJean had a pass defense on Jefferson on second down, but then he overthrew Naylor in the end zone. They end up scoring on the next play, and it was called back. because the center, like, I don't know if he was a chop block or a hold or whatever it was a penalty. And they called it back, and they ended up having to kick the field goal, and it was 14-6. That was a huge moment in the game.
Would have changed the whole complexion of the game.
There were a couple times. It wasn't just Wentz that couldn't take advantage in the red zone. There was the penalty, and how about like the late touchdown that got called back from Hawkinson? I mean, I thought he made that play.
That's a catch.
Dude,
I'm serious. Let's talk about that. I'm glad
I would not have overturned that.
Dude, it's like unbelievable. The ball like moves. He did not lose possession.
No, he didn't.
But they said he did. They said, well, he lost possession. No, he didn't. And the ball didn't hit the ground. How is that not a catch?
Yeah, I was stunned at it too. And who would they bring in today? It wasn't Blandino, was it? It was
No, it was Pereira.
Yeah, Mike Pereira. And he thought that it would be overturned.
Yeah.
I was really surprised at his take on it because
what do you got to do?
He was not going to lose that ball. Does he have to have it so secure that the ball is like
since when is a catch where the ball can't move a little? Like, I don't understand it at all.
You can have possession of something and it be moving.
Yeah.
I don't like to use this word because remember a couple of years ago they would you could challenge penalties if it was not clear and obvious, but I do think with receptions, if it's not clear and obvious to me, if you rule it a catch on the field and it moves a little bit, I think it's so ticky-tack. It's back to the what is a catch kind of debate. And I agree, although that kind of saved the Eagles this win.
It did.
I think that was a touchdown personally.
But it's like that Des Bryant play years ago in Green Bay. That was really where all this kind of nonsense started.
Where it all came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a catch and what isn't a catch?
I mean, it happened with Hurts in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, same thing. I mean, you're like, to me, when you have to micro it that far, you're going too far.
When it's not obvious the ground helped him catch it. The ground, yes, the ball hits the ground, but it didn't make the catch for him. He made the catch, and it wasn't really
just
fully
happened to
supported.
Coincided with it.
Yeah, so
I agree.
But them not taking advantage in the red zone was a huge key of this win. Yeah, because they had to settle for field goals a lot.
Yep, 1 for 6 in the red zone. It's unbelievable.
Brutal.
That's the game right there. That's the game in a nutshell.
Yeah, right. and Jalen Hurts being really good.
Yeah, exactly what I was just going to say.
Good.
That's what we're going to talk about next. A perfect quarterback rating. You want to answer the critics? Perfection usually gets it done. Harry's going to tell you about Mazda right after this.
All right, this episode is brought to you by Mazda's Moving the Game Forward. For those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it. There are moments that do more than put points on the board. They move crowds, they move culture, and they keep moving the game forward. This week's moment that moved the game forward is I'm going to go to the fourth quarter. The Eagles were up 21-19. There's 9 minutes left in the game, and they have a 3rd and 13 at their own 27-yard line. And Hurts is back to pass. He was pressured almost immediately in the pocket, had to roll out to his right, and he finds A.J. Brown on the right sideline. Brown, you could see him coming back to his quarterback. He just throws a bullet, and Brown catches it right at the marker for a first down. So they convert the 3rd and 13, and a couple of plays later, he found DeVonte Smith for a 21-yarder, and then he found A.J. Brown in the right seam for a 26-yard touchdown that put him up 28-19. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like that, there's more to every highlight. There's more to Mazda vehicles. Mazda, move and be moved.
I'm just going to make this definitive statement right now that there is no better person to do the Mazda commercials than Harry. A, because he used to drive. I remember he had the Mazda.
Yeah.
And B, no one, Louis, and I mean no one, charts a game like Harry Mays.
I think Robbie Ellis would put up a good fight.
Is that like the old just baseball fan maybe that brought the pen and paper
I used to
at
keep
a game?
score.
Yeah, I feel like those are the guys that are incredible at tracking, and I was not that kid. So not
the Mount Rushmore of charting the NFL, the Eagles games, and Harry's on it.
In the power
along with Rod Ellis.
Yeah, Rob
and Ray
Ellis
Didinger is right in the middle of that.
Yeah, Ray Didinger's the man.
Oh, he had so many notes during a game on how he watched.
Guy's never used a computer in his life.
I know.
No. I just interviewed him, and he still doesn't have a cell phone.
No?
Still does not have a cell
God,
phone.
do I envy that.
Yeah.
I just wonder how you live like that.
Oh,
That's incredible.
Great.
When I introduced him in the interview, I gave him his accolades, Hall of Famer, all the great things he's done, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and possibly the smartest man in the world because he's never been on a cell phone or social media.
Yeah, it's almost more impressive.
Yeah.
Because it's all just on your own. I mean,
on just a total throwback. And we love, you know what, we got to get Ray on because he still does do some stuff. And he's got a new play that he's putting on a second theater production as well. So I'll have to call the house phone.
Yeah.
And talk to his wife and get him on. But let's talk about Jalen Hurts because he's become so not just nationally polarizing, and he is. We had Kevin Foley on the radio this week, Foley's brother, former great quarterback from Maryland and South Jersey, who works for NFL Films and breaks down the film and his inability to read downfield and all this. We know all of the issues that, kind of carries it along with him. But on a day like today, I mean, he just really puts it all together. And for all the, he's the issue, he's the product of the system guys and all that. I mean, you see what he does on a day like today and you go, I mean, it may have been his best regular season game ever, right?
I think it was. Yeah. I think outside of the 2 Super Bowls and the NFC title last year, there were a lot of 2022 games where he was unbelievable. And like that 10-1 start in 2023, he had some, like the Bills game was unbelievable. But when you talk about like the magnitude of this game, like how bad a loss would have looked 3 straight with the offensive line
and how
issues.
bad he looked in them.
Yeah, with the offensive line issues and the play calling, like they had to have this, and for him to pull that out, especially in like kind of a second half shootout with the former face of the franchise, that to me is the most impressive regular season game I've seen from him. But we shouldn't be surprised. Like every time the national media, and we all do this, like Jalen has one of the best games. Like last year after the Carolina game, we're all ready to say they don't have it, and then the Pittsburgh game happens, and the Super Bowl, they dare him to beat Spags' defense, shutting Saquon down, and he does it. Like he's not always an elite passer, but he's not always an elite passer, but he's always an elite passer in these kind of moments. Like,
and that's why he's never high on those lists that we talked about.
Because they don't value that as much as they should.
Right? It's like
he's not sexy enough.
Right. This was the first 300-yard passing game he had since last September. I mean, like the guys that, but there's plenty of guys that roll up 300+ yard passing games and lose the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what's the real job here? Is it to win the game or to put up a lot of fancy stats?
Yeah, and a lot
today
of times,
was both. He had a perfect passer rating.
158. How did they come to that number, Louis? 158.3.
That's
what
a
is
great
that?
question. And
When you
that's
have
above my pay
incompletion.
grade.
How's it perfect when you have 4 incompletions? That's what I want. I don't understand.
I don't understand the stat, but I'll take it. I'm not complaining.
The thing about it, a lot of those guys that put up those huge numbers, they're also doing it in games because they just have to chuck the ball like crazy because they're coming from behind all the time. Yeah. He hasn't. There's games so many times last year he managed in the second half, almost like you would in a college football where if winning by 70 didn't matter.
Right.
Where you're just outclassing your opponent and let's just get out of here with the win. Let's not get hurt and move on. There's no reason to take on any peril. Hasn't been in that situation a whole heck of a lot in his career.
No,
he really hasn't.
But when he's had to carry you, I still can't believe there are people out there that think he can't carry a football team. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world, but like he's done this a lot in his career and
he did it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like how is this still a debate? Like, yes, I think if we all just accepted he's more of an inconsistent pocket passer than most elite quarterbacks, we could just settle this because this is something that we've seen for 5 years now. Like, why is there still a debate? I just don't understand.
Well, I think it's because
51-22 is his record.
Yeah, it's not always this, but it's always this in the big moments. Like that should be enough.
He doesn't look like the guy that can carry you every week. You know what I mean? Like every now and then when he has to, he can do it.
But those guys that look like that don't.
Yeah.
Right, like guys like Lamar always like Lamar Jackson, for instance, he always carries you in the games he doesn't have to, and then in like the playoffs when he needs to carry you, he can't do it. But we don't dock Lamar for that as much as like we knock Jalen Hurts for his support system. It's just the rules about evaluating quarterbacks to me is crazy, and the rules change with each player based on the narrative you want to force.
Right,
and
no, you're right. You're right about that.
Like Ben Roethlisberger was one of those guys playing in an era with these. Brady and Manning and all of that.
So it was great.
And he was just a bear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great era.
Oh,
It's kind of
it
a good
was-
comp for
it was
Jalen. I feel like
great.
he is kind of like the Big Ben of this quarterback era a little bit.
Yeah.
He's different
It's
because
not
he's
pretty
mobile.
a lot of times.
I've always said
not
he's
pretty.
Cam or like Russell Wilson, but the Big Ben one
Comes
kind of
up-
works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he comes up big at really big times.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Roethlisberger did forever, too. By
Yeah.
the way, I am not a Steeler fan because I have my wife's family is from there. I'm not going to say that they better not be listening, but I loved him.
Oh yeah.
I loved him. I
loved watching him.
Yeah.
You know, I had an AFC quarterback bromance like crazy for several of the Phillip Rivers back in the day.
Oh.
I just loved
An
it.
elite era of
Oh, it was
quarterbacks
awesome.
in that
I mean,
conference.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
Peyton,
Think about
Brady.
Phillip Rivers. The
I mean,
numbers. he
Flacco was
put
like
up.
the sixth,
Yeah.
seventh best quarterback,
Right.
and he was a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
And what he did on Thursday night was absolutely unreal. Really was, man. He's been on the team
The
for
Icy
a
Hot
week.
Bowl was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
the Icy Hot Bowl. I love that.
So insane.
But how nervous were you guys when Jake Elliott missed that 42-yard field
I
goal
thought they were
wide
gonna
right?
lose. At that point, I'm like, after
Uh-oh.
because it was the 3rd and 5 blown play call by Patullo right before that. I'm like, that they deserved to lose after that. I couldn't believe it. So I thought it was over. Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to be perfect this year,
Yeah.
but that was a really bad time.
It was a
Yeah.
bad miss.
That's a bad miss, and it scared the hell out of me. I was just so happy. Like my biggest takeaway from the game is that the leading wide receiver wasn't Dallas Goedert. Again, nothing against Goddard. He had a good game.
He had 3 catches.
3 catches for 18. That's what a
Yeah,
tight end should have.
Pretty much nothing.
Right? Yeah. Supplementary role. You go to him as a release valve. We've had
Unless
too many
if you're
weeks-
the Los Angeles Rams, who had like 4 tight ends play today and went to them regularly because
Yeah.
no Puka Nakua. That was you talk about a coach that can call a game when he's missing a player, how he fills the gaps.
I
That
think he
guy.
looks forward to it.
Oh my God, it was
I think
fun
he's
to
like
watch.
I think he's like a mad scientist
He
in
is.
a lab going, what can I do here with some just
He is.
insane formations and usage and roster decisions?
Must be nice having that.
Yeah,
Must be nice.
He is a Mensa. Like he's a Mensa.
yeah.
Like almost too
There's no
smart
Kevin
sometimes.
Patullo.
Yeah. I mean,
Were
he's
you guys
almost
happy
too
with
smart.
Sirianni today, by the way?
What was his deal?
I thought there were some head scratching. Like, they have 2 timeouts with 20 seconds left in the first half, and
Yep.
just a coward move, just letting the clock tick out. I thought
I thought he
There
handled
were-
the end of the
Knowing
game
Minnesota was
perfectly.
getting the ball to
Fair.
start the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. I just there's a couple, and like some of the inactive decisions. I know that's on the assistant coaches too, but
And
I don't
Howard.
know. Yeah, there's been some times still this year. I'm like, what is Sirianni? Not saying I want him fired, but like, what does he always bring to the table here during games? Like, obviously during the week it's different, but
Why was he yelling at the back judge at one point? He was unhinged after that one penalty.
yeah,
Like I could not figure out why
Who was
he
the
was
penalty
still
on?
I can't remember. It was late in the game. It was late in the third quarter, I believe.
he also
can't
barely
remember.
got that timeout off at the end.
Oh yeah,
That's when it was.
When the play clock. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
when it
is that
was.
why he was upset? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to call it earlier. I don't.
Maybe.
He was totally unhinged though, and like I'm one of those guys that believes, if the captain of the ship's freaking out, a lot of the people on the ship start freaking out. You got to stay a little calm.
He's
The
very
pilot
emotional.
gets nervous. That might be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the pilot goes, "Uh-oh," I go, "Well, is there any parachutes on here or what?" So that made me I thought he was a little out of character today. But maybe that's because he really actually designed the first drive of the game. Or he let someone else do it.
That's the thing. It's so tough talking about coaches because you don't really know. It's hard to have like a
Shrouded in
real
mystery.
concrete take because I don't know who designs that first play. There's a lot of
Well,
decisions. It's hard to know.
'Cause Andy
But
Reid
as the
lied
head
to us for
coach,
years.
If it's
as the
like,
head coach, though, you get responsibility for everything. So
if it's like everything else with Jeffrey Lurie these days, it's a collaborative. That's
Right.
one of his favorite words. Yeah.
We're
They all
gonna
do
go
it together.
collaborative.
But the play that I highlighted in that Mazda spot, I mean that to me was the game. 3rd and 13. It's 21-19. Minnesota's coming back, and Hurts was vintage Hurts, just making a play on his own. And if he found AJ came back to him. That was really slick.
that Mazda play of the game is a hard one today. Because there's some really
There's so many.
I mean, how do you not it's almost like how do you not go with the 79-yard touchdown? You know
Or
what
the
I mean?
double move, Brown against Rodgers to put
Yeah.
the game on ice.
Yeah.
The final drive,
But
one-on-one.
if they punt there up 2,
I agree, though. That the 3rd and 13 is the play,
huge.
especially when you look at he had to roll out with pressure.
yeah, you have
Hurts,
pressure right in his face.
Back in the day, he was not a very accurate passer on the run, especially going across his body. But on the right side, too, I mean, he has really evolved in that way. And I thought he made a couple
Little touch,
really nice.
yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
in 2021, that he's probably dropping his eyes and running there. But for him,
They used
for
to
him
force
keep
him
his
to the
eyes
one
up-
side that he
Yeah.
couldn't throw. What was it, the left side?
Yeah,
All
the left side.
That's
'cause he
actually
couldn't-
when Wentz is more accurate, too, when he was on the run.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Whereas Jalen has kind of gotten better at that over the course of his career. And in that kind of moment, especially the Eagles have been so bad behind the sticks, 3rd and long. They've been the worst offense in the league this year in that moment. For them to pull that out was just, huge. Because like Harry said, if they punt there, this game could have ended in a loss.
I mean, there's as crazy and as Jekyll and Hyde as they have been, they are the top team in the East.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it's an East win on the road.
Dallas is up 17-8 right now on Washington. Washington has no wide
Where is that
receivers
game
this
at,
year.
Harry?
It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
Yeah.
So Dallas up 17-8. What in the second quarter?
Second quarter.
Okay. But I mean, you lose to the Giants the way they did, and to think that they're still sitting in the top spot in the East now through what 8 games is almost bananas.
This
It's
was like
crazy.
the gut check moment of the season. This game really decided to me if they were going to be a 2024 have a 2024
Yeah.
season or
7 game start.
2023.
7
If they lose this one and drop 3 straight, I'm like, here comes a collapse. But the fact that this was a huge moment, a heat check moment of the season, and they passed it, that's huge for me to have more confidence moving forward. Because if they lost this one, I would have. I don't want to say I would have completely hit the panic button, but it would have been close.
Yep. No doubt about it. Now you get the Giants coming in on the
13
revenge
nothing at
game.
half right now, by the way.
Yeah, the Giants
Yeah.
in Denver. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But if they win that game, that's 3? Is that 3 in a row for the Giants?
Yeah, they'd be 3 and 4.
They'd be 3 and 4.
So,
Man.
but if Dallas ends up beating the Commanders today,
They will.
The division's almost over already. that race is going to be pretty much done and dusted because those teams are going to just beat each other up to it.
You still play them 3 times though this year. You got both Commander games and the Dallas matchup still. So.
Yeah, and we'll have and of course next week we have the Giants again, which I hate. I hate having that team that close to get. That's always seems to happen. Usually it's at the end of the year.
It's at the end of the year.
Yeah, like week 15 and week 17. And it's like, why do we do this? The Philly market versus the New York market, and you put them almost back to back. That defies logic to me.
Especially for a division matchup. I would have preferred that
That's
to be
good
spread out. That
television,
is
right?
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't get that at all. Are there any other games of consequence right now? Packers are losing to Arizona.
Yeah.
That's good for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
the Rams won today. They're 5-2.
They look good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where look. You're sitting in the top spot, and you got all the control. You got I do like the one thing I like about the Giant game this week is you do have the revenge factor.
Yeah, I would not call the division yet, though.
No, we're not even at the playoff point yet.
Yeah.
But
You might
it's
wanna-
getting,
This isn't what
look
are
at the
they
standings,
saying?
though, Harry.
What do they say in hockey if you're not in the playoffs by Thanksgiving or something?
American Thanksgiving,
American
Harry.
Thanksgiving, you're out of it.
And everybody goes, why do you always all you hockey guys always say American
Because
Thanksgiving,
there's Canadian Thanksgiving.
which was last Sunday.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
happy Thanksgiving to all of our friends north of the border from last
okay.
week.
Dallas, if Dallas wins today, they probably will. They'd be 3-3-1. So that's
Tied with the Commanders. Well, Commanders would be 3-4-1.
they'd be 3-4-0. Yeah, and Dallas and the Giants would be 3-4.
Am I wrong for thinking Dallas is the team right behind the Eagles? Is that the team competing with you? I mean,
think so.
Washington will be in it, but I think Dallas might be Dak Prescott looks like an MVP candidate this year.
He
so
does.
far.
If it weren't for Baker
but it's true.
Mayfield, he'd be up. He'd be there.
Yeah, and with Lamb coming back, if they beat Washington, they might be the second team that's kind of nipping at their heels.
And that's the other thing. Tampa's 5-1. Now I know the Eagles beat them, but Tampa could end up with 12, 13 wins and get home field.
Yeah, the tiebreaker may not come.
The division
play.
stinks.
Yeah,
the division stinks.
Yeah, and they're not even healthy right now too. So they're probably only going to get better.
The thing with Dak and Baker Mayfield, can they stay healthy? Can they sustain it and stay
healthy? And their defense is they have to win so many games in shootouts, it feels like, because their defense is so bad. So I agree. I don't want to say it's the division's wrapped up, but the Eagles are still clearly in a tier of their own.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the driver's seat.
A step back. Yeah.
It's
just up to them. They just can't get in their own way like they've been doing this past month.
Yep.
Does this – I saw the post-game interview. Was it Pam Oliver? I can't remember who did
Pam Oliver was on the sidelines.
Yeah, she did the post-game interview with Hurts and asked him, why things didn't work so badly last week and they did this week. And he said, I don't know. I have to watch the film, which was a coy answer.
Yeah, that's Jalen Hurts.
It's so in character that it's almost inexplainable. But what does this do for him and the Eagles moving forward? That's the question. That's what we don't. There's no answer. We don't know.
What do you mean? Like, is this sort of a jumping off point, like for the rest of the year kind of thing?
Well, they had a jumping off point last year, didn't they? And 2 years ago, they had a jumping off point. They jumped right off a cliff. So if there's going to be a jumping off point, you'd have to think this might be it. Right now, how does it? I mean, because again, it all depends on the involvement of DeVonte and AJ Brown. And eventually getting some kind of running game, if they can do that, if they want to go to that level. But is this the jumping off point? I mean, when you have a perfect quarterback rating, that has to be a jumping off point if there's going to be one for him as a thrower. I would.
Yeah, I mean, next week you get a division opponent for the second time in 3 weeks. I think there's going to be a lot of adjusting from the coaching staff to that prior game. Especially from Vic Fangio's standpoint, as to what to do, with Scadaboo and Dart. They just did whatever they wanted on the Eagles. So I would expect serious adjustment there. And then you got the bye week. Maybe you get a little bit healthier, and you get Green Bay. You get Green Bay coming out of the bye, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then Detroit.
Yeah,
right?
Tougher.
Schedule out of the bye is no joke, man. That is one. There's another murderer's row there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have some listener comments and our final thoughts, and we'll look ahead to the Giants after Louis tells you about Rippling.
Today's episode of the Locked On Eagles Squad Postgame Show were brought to you by Rippling. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but now the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams and simply don't work together. That's not SaaS, that's sad. Software as a disservice. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance all in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. By uniting your employees, teams, and departments in one system, Rippling removes the bottlenecks, busy work, and silos that your software created. Everything from onboarding to payroll to IT access runs automatically and perfectly in sync. It's seriously simple to use and gives companies one source of truth for their people, data, and everything that they touch. And right now, you can get 6 months for free when you go to rippling.com/lockedonnfl. That's rippling.com, rippling.com/lockedonnfl for 6 months for free. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, final score of the game, Eagles 22, the Vikings 20, or Eagles 28, Vikings 22. Eagles 5-2, 3-1 on the season away. They've been good on the road this year. That's a big element, too. Of this. Yeah, Vikings 1-2 at home.
They're definitely going back to McCarthy probably after this, too, so that's put to rest.
I think so.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Al Garst did himself any favors.
No.
The roller coaster ride is just, I think, going to be too much for them to commit to. I mean, that's just the story of Wentz, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on Wentz? Is this kind of like the last we have to deal with him? It's been a really weird weekend Minnesota-wise because, well, the Flyers played the Wild.
Oh,
the
God.
Sixers played the Timberwolves.
In preseason.
In the it's the Minnesota kind of weekend. It's weird.
It is
know
kind
what
of
I mean?
sad when you think about it. This could be like the end of the road. This was like Wentz's last chance. I
10
think.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about it, this loss, if he beats the Eagles, they might consider keeping him in the starting lineup. And I think this was his last chance to maybe be a starting quarterback at
It
this
just
level.
looked so
Yeah.
bad. And it's not that he played horribly.
No,
put
I
up
thought
a
he
lot
had
of
a
numbers.
pretty good
Yeah.
second half. He had over 300 passing yards. For him to lose this
Decisions.
game, though, and it kind of puts
Yeah.
the nail in the coffin of that part of his career against the Eagles
Yeah.
in the stadium where they won Super Bowl 52 without him.
I didn't
It's
even
kind
think
of
about
interesting.
That
It's-
Minnesota connection.
That's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of tough.
interesting.
Oh, it
That's
was a
just-
super.
yeah.
I think from a storyline perspective, this game was awesome because it's a Hurts-Wentz shootout in the second half.
Yeah.
Two of the last faces of your franchise in that building.
Mm-hmm.
Wentz has the receiver he probably should have always had in Philadelphia that could have saved his career with the
Yeah.
Eagles. Going up against the defense that was built off of the Wentz trade. There were so many connecting the dot kind of things in this game that I nerded out about. But yeah, for Wentz, it probably is the last of this is probably his last chance.
Yeah. And you're talking about Jefferson, but he actually
Yeah.
seems to have more chemistry with Addison, based on upon
Addison
what
had a
I've
good
seen.
day today.
Addison's pretty good.
I'll say though, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean were great today. I thought they really held those guys at
Who
bay
was the-
for the majority of the time.
Who was the one receiver he had the great chemistry with here? I can't remember his name. He put up great numbers. but
Greg Ward. Oh,
No. Jordan Davis. Was it Jordan
Matthews.
Jordan Matthews was the guy.
Oh, man, I forgot all about him.
Like, look at their numbers together. They were really good.
Hmm.
And he had a good tight end, obviously. But yeah, he just the thing about it is it just didn't look good at the worst times again for him.
Yeah,
And-
the opposite of Jalen, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts to take his job because they just signed him to that contract.
Yeah.
But I think the presence of Jalen Hurts, the fact that they drafted him, mentally messed him up so much that
Correct.
that sent him on the tailspin. Plus, apparently, he was a huge jerk in the locker room.
It was the nail in the coffin. They should have known if they wanted the Wentz era to work. Drafting Jalen Hurts, obviously, it led to the best era in Eagles history. But if they wanted to work at the time with Carson, they should have known, like, hey, this guy just watched a backup win a championship with his team. Then he got hurt again. That backup took you on another magical run in 2018. He finally
Alshon makes that catch.
Yeah, he finally has his moment in 2019 in the playoffs. He gets concussed in 2 drives. Like, it's kind of sad when you think about it.
Yeah.
So, Jalen, that pick was the final, straw that broke the camel's back, or however the saying goes. So, I mean, it is kind of a crazy story with Carson's career, and I think this is probably it for him. So,
Yeah. And he did have the one touchdown called back today, and the other one because of penalty. The other one that really should have been a touchdown was disallowed. So
Unreal.
but he has some really bad touch on his.
he never fixes mechanics.
No,
You were right earlier.
He
Like, the
overthrows
footwork is
everything.
terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
I mean, Addison should have had a walk-in touchdown in the first half, just on a
Yeah.
little out route.
Yep.
And Carson just missed him by like 3 yards behind him.
Oh, that was ugly.
Because
Ugly throw.
it's such an elongated motion that he can't always like pinpoint
and
the
too
throw.
wide of a base.
He never
Like-
fixed that.
Like that 5-step drop and deliver for him is so ugly.
It's because his body doesn't move in unison. Like his hips,
Yeah.
feet, and arms should all work in one motion, and
He's got 2 left
they're
feet.
all it's all messed up.
It's really bizarre.
Bet he has an awful golf swing.
Yeah.
He could probably drive it though 300 yards, but it's going to
Yeah.
go way
Yeah,
right,
right,
way
right.
left. He's probably got a massive hook.
It's 450 yards, but it only goes 280 because he
Yeah, he
just
just
curved it around a mountain.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Wow, the Giants up 13-0. And I can't get over this. They were 7.5-point underdogs
Against
on the
Denver
road.
too. It's a good. I mean, we saw it. Great
Yeah.
defense.
Well-coached team, good quarterback.
Yeah.
And they're
Sleeping
doing it
team
on the
in the
road.
AFC.
Scatterboo only has 18 yards rushing.
And that's a hard place to, with the air and everything, it's a hard
Yeah.
place to play.
The NFL is so crazy close right now. Like the Bears just won their 4th straight game. They're 4-2.
Yeah.
Colts-
I mean, both
Colts are
conferences.
5-1, and they're beating the brakes off the Chargers right now, 23-3.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steichen could be coach of the year.
Think about it.
Shane Steichen.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very
He should
true.
be if he gets Daniel Jones to win him a division title.
Yeah. No
All right. What do we think for next week? We don't have to give a prediction, but what do we think after? It's hard not to feel really good after this game. Like it wasn't hard to feel really bad after the Giants loss. I mean, you feel like the team's moving in the right direction.
The Eagles are
And
10.5-point favorites next
Well,
week.
that's a little big.
What?
10.5?
10.5. That's
We're-
telling me everything I need to know.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I mean, that was a
that
huge-
line's talking to you, Harry?
Yeah.
That's big, though. I don't know.
a
That was a
blowout.
huge
Really
win.
big.
To
Yeah.
see that passing performance is very confident inducing, but like the run game and the play calling still being so wonky, the 10.5 is a big line for me.
I'm
I
taking
don't
it.
know.
From a
I'm
team
laying
that
it
just
right
lost.
now.
I love the
Good.
confidence,
I'm
but
taking it right now.
and the way the Giants look, yeah,
You're going to move the line, Harry?
Yeah.
it might be close.
You don't walk the line. You know that.
I think that line comes down, right?
Well,
If they beat the Broncos, I would. If you want that, play that now.
I don't think it comes below 10.
You don't think so?
No.
If they beat the Broncos,
I think it does.
23 to 10
You think
today,
that comes below 10?
that goes to
Probably.
8.5.
If they beat Denver, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mark my
Wow.
words. Yep. I do walk the line, Harry.
Wow.
I am not afraid to walk the line. And I know Louie's not either.
Do we want to read some of Bam Man's comments up here? He's got a lot of stuff up here.
Is there anything you in particular you'd like me to put up? Yeah.
Oh,
that's-
yeah. Still pissed about the Phillies. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you should be.
Yeah. He's trying to get the TO in, and the ref missed it.
That's when you were
about
talking about Sirianni flipping
Yeah.
out.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think that's what it was.
Okay. So just to make sure, and he says they drafted Wentz because Wentz kept getting injured. One of the most stressful days of my life when I reported that.
Oh, the
That
back
story.
injury thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yep.
Howie texted my partner telling me he was going to sue me for slander. Because I broke the Wentz story that he had a broken back.
Oh, incredible! I did not know that.
And
in
everybody was-
2018,
Yeah. And
they did
everybody
not want that out there either. That's fun.
I had the Maragos one too, and I held it.
Yeah.
And
Well, he sued him, right?
yeah,
Maragos?
yes, and because they botched his knee.
Man, the injuries were such a tire fire during that era. Oh my
Well,
gosh!
the thing was everybody's going, why do you have it?
Yeah.
Because I'm a hockey guy.
Uh-huh.
And they're going, what? Like, it makes no sense. And then all of a sudden, the Rappaports and Schefters contradicted my report, where a half hour before there was nothing indicating anything wrong. And then I had broke the news, and I've been working on it for over a week. And the reason why they go to somebody like me is because they can't find it back to me. They haven't given me stuff before.
Right.
These teams
So
know
you don't know where the leak is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go to somebody that knows can get it out, that wants it out, because there's a lot of organizational anger about the way that was handled, not just by the quarterback, but by others in the organization, which is why it came out. Why it came out. I had it verified 6 ways to Sunday. Everybody was telling me I was full of it. Like, there's 3 ways you can tell. I have never retracted the report. I wasn't fired, and
You
wasn't
weren't
suspended.
sued.
Yep, and I
Right.
wasn't sued.
Yeah.
Because if I was wrong, 1, 2, or all 3 of those things would have happened.
Right.
None of them did.
Was it just that Wentz didn't want it out, or that always confused me? That whole
No,
story.
it was that was not. I'll tell you off the air sometime.
All right, sounds good.
I had video. I had all kinds of stuff.
Fascinating. Cool.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then maybe we'll do a movie someday. But we will listen to Louie tomorrow. He's got you on your Locked On Eagles all week. We got the squad show midweek, as well as the Eagles get set to take on the Falcons. So make Louie and the Locked On Eagles show your first listen every day. Eagles win 28-22 over the Vikings. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time on the Eagles Squad Show.